The night was unusually clear, dotted with 1,000 twinkling stars, each seemingly aware of the evening's unfolding events. Dr. Elena Maris, a noted astrobiologist, had just wrapped up another long shift at the observatory, monitoring distant galaxies and searching for signs of extraterrestrial life. It was an ordinary night, until the radio telescopes picked up an anomaly, a signal not just unusual but distinctly patterned, suggesting it was artificially created. Elena stared at the screen, her heart pounding with a mix of excitement and disbelief. The signal repeated every 16 seconds, a series of sharp, deliberate bursts that could not be dismissed as cosmic noise. She quickly initiated a protocol to trace the signal's origin, which pointed to a small, apparently uninhabited system 3 light-years away. Contact. The days that followed were a blur of activity. Governments and private entities worldwide were alerted, and a global effort began to decode and respond to the message. Elena, leading a team of experts, was at the heart of this whirlwind, working tirelessly to understand the communication. It took weeks of continuous effort, but finally they broke through. The message was a plea for help. A sentient species calling themselves the Nari was on the brink of extinction. Their planet, once a vibrant hub of biodiversity, was dying due to a catastrophic environmental collapse. The Nari had sent their message into the cosmos with the faint hope that someone would hear and come to their aid. The merge. As Earth prepared to send a response, another unexpected transmission arrived. This one was different, more personal, and directly addressed to Elena. It was from an individual Nari named Lyra, who described herself as a scientist in her world. Lyra revealed a stunning secret. The Nari had the ability to merge their consciousness with another sentient being, sharing thoughts, emotions, and even physical sensations. This merging was typically a sacred and consensual act among the Nari, used to deepen understanding and empathy within their community. However, given the dire circumstances, Lyra proposed something unprecedented: a voluntary merge with a human to facilitate better communication and collaboration in their efforts to save the Nari. Elena was taken aback by the proposal. The concept of merging with an alien consciousness was beyond anything she had ever imagined. But as she listened to Lyra's calm and earnest voice emanating from the speakers, she felt a strange pull, a sense of destiny that was hard to ignore. Decision. After much deliberation and with the support of her team and the international community, Elena decided to accept the merge. Arrangements were made, and a small, secure facility was set up for the process, which none fully understood. As the day approached, Elena felt a mix of fear and anticipation. She had spoken to Lyra several times, each conversation bringing them closer, despite the vast distances between them. On the day of the merge, Elena sat in the specially prepared chamber, a team of doctors and scientists monitoring every possible parameter. The Nari technology, delivered through an intricate device that looked like a combination of organic and mechanical components, was activated. A wave of energy pulsed through the room, and Elena felt a presence, like a whisper of wind, brush against her mind. Then, suddenly she was not alone in her head. Lyra was there, her consciousness mingling with Elena's, a sensation so profound and intimate that words could barely capture it. They were two minds, two souls, intertwined. Purposed together, Elena and Lyra set out on their journey, not just to save a dying planet, but to bridge two vastly different cultures and species. The challenges ahead were immense. They needed to rally support from Earth's governments, secure resources, and develop technologies for interstellar travel. But beyond the logistical and technological hurdles, they had to navigate the complexities of their merged existence, learning from each other, adapting, and growing. This was not just Elena's journey anymore, nor Lyra's. It was a shared odyssey, emblematic of hope and the belief that when faced with extinction, even the greatest of divides could be bridged. Thus began a saga, not just of survival, but of unity, and the indomitable spirit of collaboration across the stars. As the weeks passed, Elena and Lyra, now a single entity in two minds, began the arduous task of designing a spacecraft capable of journeying to the Nari homeworld. The project, named Nexus Voyage, involved the brightest minds from various scientific fields collaborating in ways humanity had never seen. The integration of Earth's technology with the Nari's biotechnological advancements opened new avenues for innovation. During one of their deep collaborative sessions, a sharp, unexpected pain surged through Elena's consciousness. It was fleeting, but intense, like a warning. Lyra, experiencing human physical sensations through Elena, analyzed the feeling with clinical detachment. "It appears our merge is not without its toll on your human physiology," Lyra communicated internally, her voice a blend of concern and fascination. "Your neural pathways are under strain from our shared cognitive load." This revelation led to the formation of a new team, this time of neurobiologists and psychologists, tasked with understanding the impact of the merge on Elena's health. They developed a neural buffer to mitigate the stress, an intricate mesh of nanofibers designed to support and protect Elena's brain. The synthesis of two worlds. With the immediate crisis managed, the focus shifted back to the Nexus voyage. The design of the spacecraft had to accommodate not only human technology, but also the Nari's organic components, which were sensitive to the Earth's environment. The engineers devised a hybrid life support system that could alternate between an oxygen-based and a methane-based atmosphere, allowing both human and Nari crew members to thrive. The propulsion system presented another challenge. Traditional rocketry was inefficient for the distance they needed to travel. Lyra introduced the concept of spatial folding, a theoretical drive that could bend space-time, significantly reducing travel time. The physics were baffling to even the most seasoned of Earth scientists, but with Lyra's insights, they began the prototype construction. An alliance beyond borders. As the Nexus project grew, so did international interest and cooperation. Countries that had once been on the brink of conflict over territorial disputes found common ground in their collective scientific pursuits. The United Nations established an Extraterrestrial Affairs Committee to oversee and share the developments with all nations, ensuring an equitable distribution of new technologies and knowledge. Meanwhile, on the personal front, Elena and Lyra learned to coexist more smoothly within the same mind. They shared memories, dreams, and even fears, Lyra's fear of her civilization's end, and Elena's concerns about the unknowns of space. This emotional synthesis brought them closer, creating a bond that was more than just scientific. It was profoundly personal. Unexpected visitors. Just as the first prototype of the spatial folding drive was tested, an alarm sounded through the facility. The surveillance system, enhanced with Nari technology, had detected an object entering the solar system at an unprecedented speed. Initial scans suggested it was no comet or meteor. It was a ship, but not of human origin. Panic and curiosity rippled through the team. Could it be another alien species? Were they hostile? Or could they be allies? Perhaps even others from Lyra's species who had escaped the dying planet. As they prepared for first contact, Elena and Lyra stood at the forefront, ready to bridge worlds with words, hoping that this new chapter would forge allies in the galactic neighborhood rather than foes. The entire Nexus crew held their breath as the unknown ship drew closer, its intentions wrapped in mystery. The unidentified ship halted at a cautious distance from Earth, its sleek, iridescent hull reflecting the sun's rays like a mirror in space. The design was unlike anything humanity or Nari had documented, streamlined, with surfaces that seemed to shift subtly, adapting to its surroundings. The global community watched with bated breath as Elena and Lyra took the lead in establishing communication. Using the Nexus facility's advanced communication array, they sent a greeting in several linguistic formats, including mathematical sequences universally acknowledged in scientific communities as a basis for initial contact. The response was immediate and surprisingly clear. "We are the Thalos," the voice boomed through the speakers, a melodic tone that resonated with a strangely calming effect. "We come in peace, aware of your endeavors with the Nari and your plans for the Nexus voyage." The Thalos, as it turned out, were a nomadic civilization, explorers who traveled the cosmos in search of knowledge and cultural exchange. Their interest in Earth had been piqued by the signals sent during the initial contact with the Nari. Curious about the joint venture between two distinct life forms, they offered their assistance, as well as warnings about the complexities of interstellar travel and the political dynamics of the star systems they had encountered. Technological exchange. With cautious diplomacy, the United Nations agreed to a meeting aboard the Thalos vessel. Elena, embodying both herself and Lyra, accompanied by a diverse team of diplomats and scientists, boarded a shuttle to the alien ship. Inside, they found a world unlike any spacecraft they had imagined. The interior was a living ecosystem, biotechnological beyond even Nari capabilities, with walls that breathed and floors that adapted to the movement of its occupants. The Thalos themselves were equally impressive, tall, with translucent skin that glowed softly, their movements graceful and fluid. The discussions that followed were groundbreaking. The Thalos shared insights into spatial folding technologies that surpassed even Lyra's theoretical knowledge, offering designs that could cut the travel time to the Nari world by half. In return, they expressed a deep interest in Earth's art and culture, proposing a cultural exchange that would enrich both their nomadic libraries and Earth's understanding of the cosmos. New challenges. As the alliance with the Thalos solidified, new challenges emerged. Not all on Earth were pleased with the rapid developments and the growing influence of alien cultures on global policies. A faction known as the Terran Purity League began to rally against what they saw as a dilution of human heritage, staging protests and demanding transparency and limitations on alien interactions. Moreover, the technology shared by the Thalos, while revolutionary, came with its own set of complications. The integration of their spatial folding mechanisms into the Nexus design required a complete overhaul of the ship's systems, delaying the mission and straining the already tight resources. Elena and Lyra, now seasoned in handling interspecies relations, found themselves navigating not just the technical and logistical aspects of the mission, but also the delicate socio-political balance on Earth. They worked to foster understanding and cooperation, emphasizing the mutual benefits of their expanded alliance, while addressing the fears and concerns of the opposition. A symphony of civilizations. Amidst these tensions, a cultural event was organized on Earth hosted by the Thalos. It featured artistic performances from both human and Thalos traditions, as well as interactive experiences that allowed humans to glimpse the vastness of the Thalos' travels through virtual reality simulations. The event was broadcast globally, aiming to showcase the beauty and benefits of interstellar friendship and cooperation. As Elena watched the fusion of Earth's music with the ethereal sounds of Thalos instruments, she realized they were not just building a ship or forging alliances. They were weaving a tapestry of civilizations, each thread vibrant with potential and fraught with challenges. This symphony of cultures, with all its complexity and beauty, was now part of her legacy, and Lyra's, as they continued to prepare for the mission that would hopefully save an entire civilization. With the integration of Thalos technology, the design of the Nexus Voyage's propulsion system took a quantum leap forward. The newly conceptualized quantum core was capable of manipulating the fabric of space-time with unprecedented precision. Yet such power came with immense responsibility and risk. The core's installation required a secure, isolated chamber within the Nexus, shielded against any potential quantum fluctuations that could tear through the fabric of reality itself. Elena and Lyra, along with a team of Thalos engineers and human physicists, supervised the core's calibration. This process was not merely technical. It involved a harmonization of frequencies that resonated with both human and Thalos understanding of physics. This delicate balance was crucial to ensure that the immense energies involved could be safely controlled. The rift in unity. As the Nexus project progressed, the ideological rifts on Earth widened. The Terran Purity League gained momentum, their protests escalating into worldwide demonstrations. They argued that humanity was losing its identity and sovereignty by entangling itself too deeply with alien technologies and beings. Their message resonated with a significant portion of the population, fearful of the rapid changes and the unknown implications of such deep interstellar involvement. In an effort to quell the rising tensions, the United Nations convened a special session, inviting Elena to address the global concerns. With Lyra's presence calming her nerves, Elena spoke not just to the technological and scientific benefits of the Nexus project, but also to the broader implications for Earth's place in the cosmos. "We are not losing our humanity. We are expanding its horizons," Elena stated, her words broadcast across every available media platform. "These alliances do not weaken us. They enrich us, offering a seat at the galactic table we never knew existed." The test run. The day arrived for the first test of the Nexus's quantum core. The test would not only validate the propulsion system, but also serve as a demonstration of the safe integration of alien technology with human engineering. As the countdown commenced, Elena, Lyra, and the international team of scientists and engineers monitored from the control center, their breaths held in anticipation. The core activated, humming with power as it began to fold space. The initial phase was successful, but just as the team began to celebrate, alarms blared. A fluctuation in the quantum field caused a temporary spatial rift within the testing area. The safety protocols kicked in, shutting down the core and containing the rift, but the incident left everyone shaken. Analysis and resolution. The post-incident analysis revealed a slight miscalculation in the harmonic frequencies, a reminder of the unpredictable nature of quantum technologies. Adjustments were made, with additional input from the Thalos, who were more familiar with the capricious behavior of spatial technologies. After weeks of recalibration and several smaller successful tests, the Nexus was ready for a final demonstration. This time the quantum core performed flawlessly, folding space without incident, and proving that it could safely propel the ship to the Nari homeworld. A united front. In response to the successful test, a global broadcast was scheduled. Elena and Lyra, together with representatives from the Thalos and other supporting nations, presented the results. They emphasized the collaborative effort involved and the potential benefits extending beyond the immediate mission. Technological advancements, new energy sources, and importantly, a new perspective on universal cooperation and peace. The broadcast helped to mitigate some of the fears and opposition, showcasing the tangible successes of the Nexus project. As preparations for the maiden voyage continued, Elena and Lyra felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were not merely explorers or scientists. They were pioneers of a new age, architects of a bridge between worlds that once seemed impossibly distant. Their mission was clear: to reach the Nari world, to apply their combined knowledge and technology to save a dying civilization, and to prove that unity in diversity was not just an ideal, but a practical pathway to a brighter future for all. As the Nexus neared completion, the atmosphere among the crew and the global audience was electric. Each system, each bolt, each circuit in the ship was checked and rechecked. The quantum core, now stable and ready, sat like a silent giant, capable of leaping through the cosmos. The crew, a diverse group of scientists, engineers, and diplomats from Earth, Thalos, and a few volunteers from other interested alien observers, underwent rigorous training. Their mission was dual: scientific exploration and diplomatic engagement. Elena and Lyra, now functioning almost as a single entity, led the crew with a calm authority. Their unique condition provided a living example of the symbiosis they hoped to achieve with the Nari. In the background, the political machinations on Earth continued, but the success of the Nexus project had quelled much of the dissent. The Terran Purity League, though still vocal, found their support dwindling in the face of the project's international and extraterrestrial backing. The launch. The day of the launch was marked by a global celebration. People from all corners of Earth watched as the Nexus, a gleaming symbol of universal cooperation, prepared to make its maiden voyage. The launch site was a flurry of activity, with media from across the galaxy broadcasting the event live. As the countdown began, Elena felt a surge of emotions. Beside her, Lyra's presence in her mind provided a steadying influence. The final seconds ticked down, and with a roar that shook the air, the Nexus lifted off. The quantum core engaged smoothly, folding space around the ship, and in a blink, the Nexus disappeared from view, on its way to the Nari world. Unexpected detour. Midway through the voyage, While the crew was adjusting to the rhythms of space travel, an anomaly appeared on their path, a mysterious, uncharted wormhole that had escaped all previous scans. The Nexus's advanced navigation systems detected potential risks, but also a significant shortcut that could reduce their travel time. After much deliberation, the decision was made to take the risk. The Nexus navigated into the wormhole, its hull vibrating with unknown energies. The experience was disorienting, the fabric of space and time bending around them in surreal patterns. When they emerged, they were not only closer to the Nari homeworld, but also had inadvertently traveled back in time by several days. First signs of the Nari world. The Nexus emerged from the wormhole to behold the Nari system, a sight no human or Thalos had ever seen. The Nari star, a fading red giant, cast a somber light over its planets. The crew prepared for orbital insertion around the Nari homeworld, their hearts heavy at the sight of the dying star. Initial scans of the planet confirmed the worst. The environmental collapse was more advanced than Lyra's descriptions had indicated. Vast deserts had taken over lush forests, and massive storms raged across the surface. A plan of action. With time running short, the crew launched a series of satellites to assess the planet's atmosphere and surface conditions more accurately. Meanwhile, Elena and Lyra worked tirelessly, utilizing the Thalos's advanced ecological restoration technology. They formulated a plan to initiate atmospheric regeneration and revitalize the planet's oceans, which had been ravaged by pollution and neglect. Their efforts were a race against time. Every procedure, every experiment had to work the first time. There was no margin for error, no second chances. As the Nexus orbited the Nari world, a deep resolve settled over the crew. Their mission was clear: to restore this world not just for the Nari, but as a testament to what could be achieved when the universe worked in harmony. The global audience back on Earth and across friendly alien territories watched and waited, hoping that this mission would not only save a world, but also forever change how civilizations across the cosmos viewed cooperation and unity. The Nexus hovered in orbit, a silent guardian as its crew executed their meticulously crafted revival plans. Below, the once vibrant Nari planet lay quiet, its surface marred by environmental decay. The crew's first task was to deploy atmospheric converters, large machines provided by the Thalos that could cleanse and rebalance the atmospheric chemistry. As these machines descended and began their work, hopeful signs emerged, patches of clearer skies and the beginnings of rain where there had been none for decades. Elena and Lyra, fully synchronized in thought and purpose, coordinated the operations from the Nexus's command center. Their combined expertise allowed them to adjust the revival process in real time, responding to the planet's feedback with precision. Each successful adjustment brought a sense of victory, a shared triumph over the creeping despair that had once threatened the Nari civilization. Cultural reconciliation. As the planetary restoration progressed, the Nexus crew prepared for the next phase: cultural integration and education. Teams composed of humans, Thalos, and a few Nari who had been in stasis aboard the Nexus began groundwork for reintroducing the Nari population to a world they could scarcely recognize. This phase was crucial. It wasn't enough to save the planet if its inhabitants couldn't thrive on it once more. Interactive workshops were set up, using technology to bridge language and cultural gaps. The humans and Thalos learned as much from the Nari as they taught, creating a dynamic flow of knowledge and mutual respect. This cultural exchange enriched everyone, deepening the bonds between the species and solidifying the foundation of their new shared existence. Final adjustments. With the planet's primary systems beginning to stabilize, attention turned to finer adjustments. The oceanic synthesizers were deployed to purify and restock the oceans with life, drawing from vast databases of genetic material that had been preserved by the Nari before their world had begun to decline. Forests began to regrow, accelerated by bioenhancers that ensured the flora's compatibility with the newly balanced environment. Elena, her mind always partly merged with Lyra's, felt an overwhelming connection to the planet's revival. It was as if they were nurturing a great living being back to health. With each passing day, the planet's sensors reported better results: cleaner air, clearer water, and the return of native wildlife. Unity achieved. As the mission neared its completion, a great assembly was called. Representatives from Earth, the Thalos fleet, and the reawakening Nari civilization gathered on the Nexus. The meeting was a celebration of what had been achieved, a dying world brought back from the brink by an unprecedented coalition. Elena and Lyra, now celebrated not just as scientists but as pioneers of a new diplomacy, addressed the assembly. They spoke of the challenges overcome and the future possibilities. The Nexus, once just a vessel, had become a symbol of hope and determination, a reminder that no challenge was too great when faced together. Looking forward with the planet restored and its people beginning to flourish again, the Nexus's role shifted from revival to observation and support. The ship remained in orbit, a permanent base for continued cooperation among the planets. Scientists from various worlds came to study and learn from the successful revival, hoping to replicate this harmony elsewhere in the universe. As for Elena and Lyra, they chose to remain partly merged, their bond a testament to the potential for unity between species. They continued to work together, planning future missions and supporting other civilizations in need, driven by a shared vision of a universe where cooperation was the cornerstone of survival. From the depths of despair, the Nari had risen again, and with them, a new era had dawned, one where the cosmos was not just a vast expanse to explore, but a community to nurture and protect. The legacy of the Nexus project would live on, a beacon across the stars, guiding the way toward a future filled with hope and united purpose.